we spoke about the self and the product of the mind, the self, and its nature to create sort of like a wall, a boundary around itself. Although it starts off as a measure for protecting itself, it gets out of control, is what we were talking about. Now, because it got out of control, it created a sense of divisiveness. Can we talk about this divisiveness and how this is one of the biggest reasons why we have a variety of problems?
Of course. In fact, the problem of divisiveness is universal. It's there in every human being. And we will do well to get an understanding of how it came to be in the first place, that sense of divisiveness. When we superficially move about on the terrain of our day-to-day life, then we may not pick up the hazardous nature of this divisive thinking. We may not be able to pick that up because we are not sufficiently self-aware to know that a sense of divisiveness permeates throughout our thinking from beginning till end. So how did we get it? And is it possible to suspend the sense of divisiveness or to overwrite on the default setting of divisiveness and thereby create another setting which is more happiness begetting, which is more joy begetting, which is more creativity begetting, and which gives you a sense of wonder and mystery about life. So that's what we should be talking about. And I would say that in hindsight, looking back, and everybody has a very strong I sense. So let us denote that by capital I, the English alphabet, capital I, very tall, let's say 1 foot tall, in bright, luminous, the whole thing, the vertical line and the two base lines, luminous and brilliant. Now, that I sense is something so, it is the essence of being subjective. It is the essence of who we are. And it is the essence in a dog, in a cat, in an insect, in man, in the tree, everything. Of course, the trees and the mountains, they can't speak, so we don't know that they have an eye. But the dog has the eye, the snake has the eye, the ant has the eye. If you play with all those things, you can clearly pick that up, that the dog has an eye, the cat has an eye. And so that eye is there. It's a very powerful eye. But then is that I, which is the life center, which is the essence of who we are. And the more intelligent among us, we will definitely find out that I is outside of time. It has got nothing to do with time, even though it's going for a walk in the time gardens. That I, which is taintless, blemishless, beyond time, it's got this unfortunate association with the body. And therefore, the body has a sense of self, or the I has got a sense of self because of the association with the body, that it is the body. That's the first mistake which has happened in nature. And inevitable consequence of the timeless I getting associated with an organism, which is the body or the dog or the cat, whatever it is. So the first feeling you get is, I am the body. And the body becomes your self-identity. The body becomes your self-identity, unquestioned, primordial, primitive self-identity. Now this primordial, primitive self-identity of the I, corrupted by association with the body, and going to the degenerate level to that extent of saying that I am the body, now that underlies all human civilizations. Whether you take the Egyptian civilization, you take the Cynic civilization, you take the Indic civilization, you take the Roman civilization, the Greco-Roman civilization, everywhere. This I sense is fundamental, is primitive, is primordial. But is it pure or is it corrupted? It's corrupted. Why? Because of the association with the body. Now, because of the association with the body, is kind of blinded by the fundamental stubborn thought that I am the body. Now, you have the idea that you're that body, and I have the idea that I'm this body. You're asking for trouble. It's so self-evident. You're asking for trouble because you defined yourselves as in a completely erroneous way. That's not who you are. You're not the body at all. You are the incorruptible self, and that self which is incorruptible, which is in you, the same thing is in me, the same thing is in the scorpion, in the tree, in the mountain. And there will be an end to all our travails, our miseries, our sorrows, only when we go so far as to pick up that primordial truth that we are the I, unfortunately associated with the body, because of which it underwent a corruption. Then it got that wrong thought that I am the body. Now, can we do reverse engineering? Can we go back and pull out the association, de-associate it so that it is pristine and pure and luminous? Okay? Now, that is deliverance. Got to do that. Everybody has got to do that. And it's not hard to do that. You don't have to go to a cave in the Himalayas, meditate for 17 years, and you hear it in the fables. Mahavira meditated for 18 years. The Buddha meditated for 6 years. Somebody meditated for 20 years. All fables and legends. No. It's easier than that. Because all of them did the hard work. So today it's very easy. Now, this has to be taught in schools as to who you are.
So the association with the body is what you said, but is there also association with ideas?
Yeah, as a consequence, at another level.
Okay.
First is the association with the body. And the body is an apparatus. It's actually a sensory apparatus. It's fitted with 2 cameras, which are the eyes. Then it's fitted with 2 mics. So the whole universe is speaking into these 2 mics. And the eye is the recipient of all the voices and the noises from the cosmos. They speak into these mics. And finally, in the headquarters, where the eye is there, the eye receives it. But because the eye is on a delusional platform, that it is either the body or it is the body and the senses, so the receiver, though sentient as the I, as the primordial I, because of the delusion, fundamental delusion that you are the body or the senses, you personalize the whole thing and you lost the mystery, you became a creature. You became a mere creature with the 10 fingers and 2 eyes and all of that story. You're not that. So one has to go back and erase the programming which happened. Programming is inevitable because the big I, it wanted to have fun. So it went for the Big Bang. Okay? It's his Leela, as it is called, the play of God. It's his handiwork. In ecstasy, he's dancing. Okay? And then the galaxies come out of it in ecstasy. And that source is here in every human being. But still it is enshrouded by the belief that I am the body. So a research question for the whole of humanity is, can we peel that off? Because all the self-realized sages, they peeled it off. They peeled off the wrong covering. They ripped off the epicarp. And then is the sweet fruit inside. And that, I think, is the destiny, at least, of the more intelligent and more evolved among human beings. And they're doing it, whether not because we are speaking something here, but it's happening. You just have to look around and you see that lots and lots of people are talking about this primordial problem of nullifying the illusion. And that illusion is called Maya. What I said, that the I got a wrong thought that I'm the body because of the association. And it's like in a lighter vein, let's say that I get a coat. I'm a coat made by a lovely tailor. I wear it and I feel the joy of it. Then immediately I identify itself as my coat. And then I went beyond that my coat and I said that coat is me. Okay?
So it's as though you you wore a costume of a clown, and then after the show is over, you
You're still
continue
hanging on to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're hanging on to it because it gave you so much of pleasure. The pleasure of being that actor, the pleasure of being in that role, the pleasure of the excitement of being that particular thing. And so now keep it. Don't erase it. An error happened, a programming error happened. And out of that, what is the fruit of that? The fruit of that is immense pleasure, immense pain. Both come together. Immense amount of pleasure, immense amount of pain. But then, immense amount of pleasure, we love it, we want it. But do we want the mountains of pain? No, we don't want it. We want only the pleasure. We want only the happiness, we want only the fulfillment. We don't want this thing called the pain. And but it's not possible. So then somebody tells us that take both or leave both. You can't stake a claim over pleasure and then reject pain. No, they're not going. They're inseparable. They're an inseparable
So
pair.
that is perhaps for a layman. It's sort of, it's not easy to give up. You know, if you go talk to a layman and tell him that, hey, you know, there is the other side. There's another side, as it were. And if you just let this go, you get that.
Get what?
The eternal, whatever, the awareness, or your essential nature in what
right.
you said, the I. But that at the surface, it sounds scary. To let go? How could I let go?
Yeah, scary is one thing. Yeah, it's terra incognito. You don't know what it is. Right. You don't know what it means. And
but I think secretly we are all searching for that. Because if we are always gravitating towards pleasure, which means we want that.
Of course.
The only thing is we seem to find it temporarily in a cheap, like
Of
a local
course.
cheap store,
Yeah,
a
right.
dollar store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imitation jewelry.
right.
Yeah. In Tamil, they say, Citrinbam Perinbam. So the Citrinbam is the cheap version of that happiness you get from good food, from sex, and from going on holidays into the Swiss mountains. And then you're in that mountain tramway or whatever it is, that mountain car, you go in that. And now you're even more mad. You're saying you'll go to the moon and all of that. And that is Citrinbam. And way beyond all of that, in the deep, there is that silence, which is your home, and there you're above want. You don't have a desire there. You don't want to start out of that home because that home is so beautiful.
Right.
And
so if we don't talk about, let's not talk about the pleasures, which is a pleasure already. Who doesn't want it?
Exactly.
But if you talk about the pain, is when there is a need for us to start working on ourselves comes, right?
Yes.
And I want to actually talk about, our Amanaska yoga course, and if you can just throw some light on it, because I've taken the course. I know some people who have. I've worked with you. I've traveled with you for several years, and
Yes.
I've benefited quite a bit.
Yeah.
But can you, in your own words, say a little bit about the course?
Okay. See, the course as such, let's not stick that label on that whole study and that whole yoga sadhana and that endeavor. Let's not use that very diminutive term course. But I'll ask you one thing. As both of us are, we are friends, we are talking about many things. I came to your home city, Toronto. You were my host. And you were such a good host, and you showed me so many marvels and mysteries in Canada. Thank you very much for doing all that out of your love. Now, what do you think a scientist does? Doesn't a good scientist embark on an adventure into the mystery of life. It can be a scientific mystery about the electron or quarks, or about weak interactions or strong interactions, or about black holes or dark matter, whatever the scientists are talking about. Now, when he enters into that mystery, for the joy of it, for the ananda of it, did anybody give him a guarantee that he's going to get at the truth? Nobody gave him the guarantee.
Nobody.
But yet these daredevils have jumped into it, right? Now that is being human. That is being human, to go behind an adventure. Whether it's an adventure to go up to Mount Everest, or the adventure into the mystery of life, into Mendeleev's periodic table of the elements, or artificial intelligence, and the new technology and dark matter, and the grand unified field theory, or the theory of relativity, it's all the adventure of the human spirit. And the human spirit, because it's infinite by nature, it won't be satisfied with anything less than infinite. That's what it is. And its quest is infinite. It's endless. And it won't give it up. Now, the same infinite quest you see in the pleasure gardens of life, in cafeterias, in cinema theaters, in nightclubs. And it's the same quest, but except that you think that you're going to get that infinite beatitude and that infinite fulfillment in the pursuit of all your pleasures and all of these. And the scientist, he goes for the adventure, and he wants to go behind the truth. And he has no conviction that he's going to get the truth. But there is a compelling drive within him that he wants to go behind it. So he's going behind it. Now, don't you think every human being should go behind the mystery and the adventure of what this life is all about? Are we doing it?
No.
No, we are not doing it. So we have become instead bread and butter animals. Isn't that sad?
It's very sad.
You're not meant for this. You're meant for this. It's like, think of a king. He's actually a Maharaj. He's a Maharaj in Varanasi. He's the Maharaja of Varanasi. But he's captured a village which is giving him huge amount of sex and drink and entertainment and all of that. And he has forgotten his kingliness. And he has pitched his tent in that piddly little village and saying, I am satisfied. It's like that. It's a tragedy. And so that, coming back to your question about the Amanaska course, that Amanaska course wants to set fire to your aspiration so that you get that freedom, the freedom of what it means to be human. And then you go behind what the Hindus have called Swadharma for thousands of years. That is, that Swadharma, Swa means self, and Dharma means your vocation. What the entire cosmos wants you to do, wants this body, wants this consciousness to do. So it's got a mandate. It has to do either mathematics, or it has to do farming, or it has to do jewelry design, or it has to go to the moon, or it has to do IT, information technology, whatever it is. Bharatanatyam, anything. Okay? Now, can you open that main gate valve so that freedom, jet of freedom, it keeps blasting inside you, so that you become truly human, which means you stake a claim for your infinite nature. That's what it means to be human.
So in the course fosters that.
Pardon?
The course would foster that.
Yeah,
And
the course is to, the course will inspire you to go behind that freedom, to inspire you to go behind that freedom. And the freedom is who you are, is there for the asking, but then you turn your back on it because of distractions in life. You turned your back on it because of the burden of sorrow. You turned your back on it, back on that freedom. And then the course is a reminder that you need to stake a claim for that, and you need to grant yourself the freedom, grant yourself that adventure. And you go behind it, quite irrespective of the idiotic thought that you're going to succeed in the whole adventure. An explorer never has that dirty thought, which is self-centered. The call is more important for him. He never thinks of success and failure. That's petty. The call is important. And that call, a life without that call, is it worth it? No. Yeah. Got to get that call and got to go behind it. Society might think you're insane. Society will say Lakshmi Kumar has gone mad. Okay? But if Lakshmi Kumar feels bliss bursting in the cells of his body and in the neurons, then is he going to care about what society is going to tell him? No. That's the whole point. So to stake a claim for that and to get into that mystery, and you get up one morning and you're walking and you're looking at trees and you're looking at people on the road and you're looking at the earth and starry heavens. And if you can't weep at the mystery of life, I think you're not human. It's very sorry. It's you become a lowly animal, a thinking animal. Thinking, the animals are better, in fact. Thinking, self-centered animal. The animals are not so self-centered. But man is self-centered because the self is so powerful. So it's building his empire constantly. So don't forget what Krishnamurti said. Then you do not have to take care of life. Life will take care of you. Don't forget those words. So you're all the time concerned about security. Every human being is concerned about security. Every human being is planning about his future. Now, what will it be if you're set free from the bondage of that quest? You want that?
Of course.
Then you better study it. Better study it.
So life is a mystery.
Life is a mystery, yeah. And you've got to get that full thing of the mystery and and it's do everything for the ananda of it. Don't do anything for the money of it. No, for the love of it. Do everything for the love of it, for the ananda of it.
Thanks for...
Then your friends and other people, they're looking at you and they will study you and they will, what's wrong with this guy? And that's the way you can make an impact on the world. Not by subscribing to the self-centered agenda to which millions are subscribing. Krishnamurti says in order to affect life, you've got to break away from society. That's the only way you can improve society, by breaking away from it, from its lowly norms, bread and butter norms, bread, butter, security, future, everything.
Thank you. Actually, I actually want to finish this with this topic with the words that I heard from you that made a really serious impact. And so, if you don't mind, I wanted to read out this. So, you once told me that for cowards and the thoughtless, life is a journey into the known. For the courageous and intelligent, life is a journey into the unknown.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. And you think that by pursuing the call and going for that adventure, which all the best in humanity go for the adventure. They don't live the lowly life. Okay? You think that that will hit your survival under the belt. That's your belief.
Yes.
Now, what if you lose that belief? That's your current belief. That who will take care of me if I don't take care of yourself? Now listen to Krishnamurti. He says life will take care of you.
So I think once again the self is the culprit.
Of course it is.
It comes in there and says what happens.
Of course.
What happens to your survival.
Of course.
And
of course.
So that which was meant to actually preserve, and help us.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like overgrown its purpose.
Yeah.
And become obsessed.
Obsessed with survival.
Yeah. which is in essence is the lowliest in the low.
It's a lower tier. I won't. I don't demolish it. No, I'm saying that that's the platform on which you start. Okay, good, very good. Now, is that the be all and end all of life, or is there tier 2, tier 3? Is there something? There's obviously more layers on top. This is not the be all and end all of life to become a successful guy in the world. And because all the successful guys in the world, they're not happy. They're drinking themselves to death. I know one media baron from America. I don't want to mention his name. He was in depression for 10 years. Very powerful media baron. He went to London and stayed in a hotel there. He was just drinking and drinking and drinking. He's depressed. He doesn't know what to do with his wealth. He doesn't know what to do with his power. So, humanity has to be humble enough to learn, humble enough and willing enough to be educated.
So may I ask that, again, this is the self that is asking, right? If you can indulge.
Yeah. Oh, go on.
So if I go into the unknown, right, is there guarantee for success?
Oh, no. You got it all wrong. Because the unknown is a concept in your head.
Right.
Why do you make concepts out of, and that unknown is the infinite adventure of life? Now, will you agree that all these great people who were responsible for, who are the great lights for you and me, and they lived without concern for survival? Will you go with that? Did the Buddha have a guarantee that he became a bhikshu and a sannyasi and that life is going to take care of him? And no guarantee, right? No. Did the Master Jesus have a guarantee? Crucifixion and all that? Right?
Yes.
What did they pursue? They pursued truth, right?
Yes.
Why don't you pursue the truth? So the course is to drive you towards the truth, is to drive you inward, not outward, where all the distractions and the cacophony is, so that you will voluntarily, consciously, deliberately begin the larger thing of what it means to be human. Because in that there is fulfillment. There is no survival in that. And you've got to go for that adventure. I see that in the West, a large number of people have already jumped into that adventure. The West is very adventurous, risk-taking. But in India, I feel that we are always asking for security. And we are prepared to give crores for that imaginary security. But can anybody give it to you? No. Then, why are we going behind it? The so-called security. Life is fundamentally fragile.
Thank you.
So the mystery goes like that.
Thank you very much.